If you're 5 to 6 weeks postpartum and thinking I should be cleared to do everything right now, this is your reminder that clearance does not mean go back to what you were doing pre-pregnancy. Hi, I'm Jamila, pelvic floor therapist and a mom of 3, and this is part of my series, Healing the First 12 Weeks Postpartum, where we walk through what your body actually needs in each phase after birth. Because at 5 to 6 weeks postpartum, your tissues are continuing to heal and your pelvic floor is ready for slightly more challenge, but only if it's controlled and intentional and if you've been gradually working on it up until this point. So our focus right now is on strength, endurance, and coordination under light load without experiencing any pelvic floor or core related symptoms. So here's what I typically recommend in this phase.
As always, we start with diaphragmatic breathing to get connected to the pelvic floor and the deep core. Let me preface all of this by saying these exercises are not necessarily right for every single person at 5 weeks postpartum. So having a framework and appropriate guidance is important. Today I decided to start on hands and knees and work my way up to standing as I prepare for full function and strength as a mom of 2 toddlers and a newborn. Sometimes you have to try a different position to activate the deep core and the pelvic floor appropriately when doing diaphragmatic breathing. I wanted to make sure I started training my glutes and my core and pelvic floor for the task of getting up and down with my kids and my baby. So I started with a very, very light modified squat kneeling position. Remember, these are all slow and controlled movements, so I'm not rushing through. I'm truly focusing on activating the deep core, pelvic floor, and having appropriate positioning and breathing because that's important too in order to protect and prevent pelvic floor issues. This is also a great way to start healing the diastasis naturally and really strengthening the inner core during functional tasks that you have to do anyway. I usually start doing this position and this exercise until 6 weeks postpartum, but I knew my body was ready for it. Always using my breath for power when coming up and training my body to continue to progress. And this is also where integrating slow, gentle walks is appropriate.
Again, if you are noticing leaking, pressure, heaviness, doming, or pain, these are signs to scale back and get the appropriate support from a pelvic floor therapist. This phase is about preparing your body for workouts, for lifting kids, and daily life. You are not behind, but you are rebuilding well. Follow along for the rest of this series. Save this video, share it with another mom who's in this phase or preparing for this postpartum phase. You can grab the early postpartum 6-week guide for a framework of the exercises that I recommend as a pelvic floor therapist those first 6 weeks.